Good morning and welcome back to Faith on the Move. You find me at the railway station again, waiting for a train to Halifax. So I'm going to do Halifax to Mirfield today on the St. Paulinus way. I'm going to start off at Halifax Minster and then make my way to Mirfield. Halifax being one of the major carpet making towns of its day, no longer of course, but in its heyday it was sold carpets are all around the world. Anyway, so we're going to do a sort of a different, it's going to be a different sort of scenery today, because we've come off the hills and we're now going into the industrial towns of West Yorkshire and all the way through Mirfield, Dewsbury, Huddersfield, up to Leeds, and then from Leeds onto the Vale of York. So hope you stick with me on the St. Paulinus way. I say this might be interesting, but I don't know whether it's going to be all that scenic, but we'll see what happens. Okay guys, catch you very soon. Well, good day again, and here we are at Halifax Minster. Now there's a reason on my episode 2 that I didn't put Halifax Minster on the actual video, because Halifax Minster should be flying a St. George's Cross, and unfortunately the day I turned up here they weren't flying a St. George's Cross, they were flying another flag, which I disagreed with. The only crosses, the only flags that should be flown on any Church of England church, or any church in England, should be the St. George's Cross or the Union flag. Anyway, by the by, I'm now here, and they are actually flying the St. George's Cross flag. So I took a few video shots of it. Now it's not open until around about 12 o'clock, so I won't be able to go in, but I do recommend you come and go in if you have a chance to. That is if they're flying the right flag. Of course. Okay, so as I say, here we go. We're in Halifax, a big town for carpets, sold carpets all around the world, big industrial town. The water here was so soft that they could do a lot of dyeing of the carpets, and the colours came out really well. And also chocolate came from here. I don't know whether, I wonder which one it was. Was it Macintosh? But now it's Nestle. I think that's right. So I'm going to crack on and let's get to Mirfield and see what we can find. This is going to be an interesting one, I'm sure. Because it's a faith walk, St. Paulinus Way number 3. I will be doing a bit of discussion on St. Paulinus again, and reading some extracts and my thoughts from A Course of the Bible. So I hope you can stay with me guys. See you soon. Whew. I've just come past the Nestle factory, which was once the Macintosh factory, onto a track that is no longer well used, but obviously I think it was used in the past, because it's all cobbles. It's a cobbled path going up the really steep hill. I don't think you can get the oh, it's telling me to take the next right. I don't think you can get the steepness of this hill, but it's very steep, and the cobblestones help a lot, I must admit. There's cobbles. There we go. There's the cobblestones going up. So yeah, this was an old, must have been an old Victorian pathway for the guys in their hobnail boots coming and going to work. So their premises on the hill. All the blackberries are out, which is good news. Now, I don't think this one's almost there actually. That's got something on it. Let's have a look at this one. Oh, this one's nice and juicy. Oh yeah.
Take the next right.
Nice and sweet. Right, I'll carry on. I'll make my way through this undergrowth. Looks like a road up here. So I'm going to stop here for a while after that big long hill, and we'll go through the book Christianity, how Christianity came to England. And if you remember on the last episode, episode 2 of the St. Paulinus Way, we talked about how St. Paulinus, or we read about how St. Paulinus met Edwin. So, Edwin then wants to hear what Paulinus has to say. So he calls in all his noblemen. And this is what the book reads. After much discussion, Edwin called his wise men around him and asked them whether they should accept Christianity or not. It was then that an unknown man made a speech that afterwards became famous. A sparrow flew in from an open door, and at one end of the great hall, where they were talking, passed through the hall and disappeared out the next door, at the other end of the hall. Noticing this bird, this wise man said and commanded, "So seems the life of a man, O king, as a sparrow's flight through the hall when you were sitting supper in the winter, with the warm fire lit and the hearth, but the icy rainstorms without. The sparrow flies in at one door, tarries for a moment in the light of the heat of the fire, and then flies forth out the other, vanishes into the wintry darkness whence it came. So tarries for a moment the life of a man in our sight, but what before it, what after it, who knows? If a new teaching tells us out of these, let us follow it." Others among the king council said much the same thing, and then Paulinus was allowed to deliver his message. When he had finished decorating what the gospel says about men and his hope for heaven, the chief of the king's heathens priests, Kofi, called out, "I have long felt that there is nothing in which we worship, but more I sought after truth, and less I found it. But now I confess that this teaching appears to offer us gifts of life and salvation and eternal happiness. For which reason I advise, O King, that we set fire to the temples and altars that are useless gods, and at which we have long worshipped without benefit. Now, the Kofi begs the king, begging the king's permission to destroy all the old altars and idols itself, Kofi went on. And it's fitting that I, who have worshipped these gods in ignorance, should destroy them, and should be an example to others through the wisdom given to me by the one true God. So off went Kofi around the countryside on the king's great horse, destroying all the altars to other gods that they had put up, and hence they all became Christians, and spread the Christian message throughout Northumberland and into England. Right, I'll crack on. Well, you find me outside the Church of St Anne. It's a little bit of a busy road, but I'm going to cross that road anyway. I haven't come onto it, but I've been surprised at how pretty it's been. The countryside walking along here, just absolutely really beautiful. And I was expecting it there to be just me walking through mill towns, but it's not. It's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, so far so good. I'm only done about 3 miles. I've got about another 7 to go. But I've stopped outside this church of St Anne's, I say, in a place called South Owram. Sorry to any Yorkshire person. I'll put it just here so you can read it and tell me where I'm going wrong. Southwarm, I think. Southwarm, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, by the by. So I thought, what a good place to actually have a Bible reading on the St Paulinus way. And I've been having trouble finding a church, really, that because it just seems to me that the Church of England is going the wrong way. I'm not a scholar or in any shape or form, so but they're not preaching the Gospels anymore, and I just finding that certainly the Methodist church I go to and other churches and the Church of England are very wishy-washy with their Gospels, and they don't seem to want to preach the Gospel anymore. So it's very difficult for me. I've looked in now at the confessing Anglican church, but there's not one around my area. So that might be one for me to look at, because I'm not getting anything from, certainly not getting anything from the churches that I go to at the moment. Maybe one church, but at that church they don't sing the old hymns, they sing modern hymns, and I love old hymns. Anyway, you can't get everything, can you? You can't get everything. But there just seems to be no meaning anymore, no gospel readings, gospel faith anymore within the mainstream media church, the Church of England, and a lot of it's to do with the hierarchy, the ministers we have in, and the hierarchy nowadays. And so this is, I was going through Malachi. He's the last prophet really in the Old Testament. And he's a minor prophet, but he was around the 5th century, after the Temple of Jerusalem was rebuilt. And so his main concern was calling out the priests and the people, and the corruption and the lackadaisical life of worship to God. So he brought people back to the Gospels, really, or back to God, and it's quite apt what I was reading when I was thinking about the type of hierarchy clergymen we have in the bishops and certainly the Archbishop now we have in the Church of England as our Anglican leaders. How unwilling to preach anymore, and just want everybody to be inclusive. Anyway, as I say, I'm no scholar, so I'm going to read this passage anyway. It gets a bit grim, but I'm going to read it. Oh, hang on, I need my glasses. Oh, where's my glasses gone? There they are. Right, here we go. The Lord Almighty says to the priests, "This command is for you. You must honour me by what you do. If you will not listen to what I say, then I will bring a curse on you. I will put a curse on the things you receive for your support. In fact, I have already put a curse on them, because you do not take my commandments seriously. I will punish your children and rub your faces in the dung of animals you sacrifice. And I will take you out into the dunghill. Then you will know that I have given you this command, so that my covenant with the priests, the descendants of Levi, will not be broken." Goodness, he's telling them off there, isn't he? "In my covenant I promised them life and well-being, and this is what I gave them, so that they might respect me. In those days they did respect and fear me. They were taught what was right and what was wrong. They lived in harmony with me. They not only did what was right for themselves, but they also helped others stop doing evil. This is the duty of the priests, to teach the true knowledge of God. People should go to them to learn my will, because they are the messengers of the Lord Almighty. But now you priests have turned away from the right path. Your teaching has led many to do wrong. You have broken the covenant I have made with you, so I, in turn, will make the people of Israel despise you, because you do not obey my will. And when you teach my people, you do not treat everyone alike." So it seems it's not just today that priests turned away from God and his covenant. It seems like they were doing that before Jesus was ever born. Anyway, let's get on. Well, I've done 6.5 miles, got another 4.5 to go, so it's going to be 11 miles in total. I'm just coming up to the M62 motorway there above me. Don't know if you can see that. And I've got to say, yeah, there was a little bit of industrial area around Brighouse, so I had to go through an industrial estate. But once I got through there, I'm now back into walking along by the river, by the beautiful river, as I pass under the M62 bridge. I don't know if you can hear the traffic going across. So far, oh, I don't know if you can hear the big traffic, big lorries and everything going across this bridge. I'll show you the infrastructure. Look at that. There we go. Westbound and eastbound. Hull, I think 62 to 62 go to Liverpool. I think it stops before then anyway, but yeah, virtually cutting the country in half, that motorway. Anyway, I've been pleasantly surprised how pretty it is. Very surprised, to tell the truth. I've got a bit more industrial area to go through, I know that, when I get to around about from Mirfield onwards, Dewsbury to Wakefield, a little bit more industrial. But yeah, up until now, it's been very quiet. Looks like these paths are not well trodden, and been lovely, really lovely. Right, let's carry on. I have no intention of stopping. Let's get going. Well, I was hoping to catch the train, but unfortunately, I don't know if you can see that up there. Everything is delayed. Some poor soul has stepped onto the tracks and killed himself, so all the trains are delayed till we don't know when. So we're going to I think I'm going to catch the bus. So I'm going to make myself way back into Mirfield from Mirfield station. Thanks for watching Old Bald Man's Adventures. Give us a thumbs up if you want a thumbs up. Oh no, sorry, I'll go back. Thanks for watching Faith on the Move. Not Old Bald Man's Adventures. Thanks for watching Faith on the Move. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the Paulinus way so far, and many more episodes of the Paulinus way, St. Paulinus way. Wow, what a hot, long way, 11.5 miles, and yeah, I'll go and catch the bus then. I'll see you guys on the next episode. I'm off to the North York Moors on my next video, so on the Old Bald Man Adventures side, not on the Faith side, so I hope you guys can join me on that one. Bye for now, see you guys later.